Alright, this is a little sheet that I've put together, and I had to give it a name, so I'm naming it Rebound Rudiment Warm-Up. It's a thing I do every day. In fact, this is actually the first page I use every day as part of my about a 30-minute routine that I do every day to keep my old hands in shape. I call them rebound rudiments because the rudiments on this sheet require a rebound from the head. Of course, essentially all rudiments do that, but this is more of a rebound. You're relying on the surface tension to bounce the beads back up to their starting position. So, with that in mind, these are 11 rudiments, really 10. Number 11 is not really a rudiment, but it feels good to my hand, so I put it on there. So if you're a purist and only want to play the first 10, then have at it. So the pattern is number one. So look at the sheet. The pattern is going to have a common element throughout, and that common rudiment or element is the flam-a-diddle. Okay, so we're going to play a 2 and 2. We're going to repeat that 2 and 2, and then we're going to do a 4 and 4 for all of the rudiments. So number one basically is the pattern. So here's the pattern, and the first rudiment is the flam tap. So we're going to play this. Okay, so that's the first rebound rudiment warm-up. So we're going to play that. Normally I'll play that through one time. I have gone through phases in my playing where I'll do this 4 times, 3 in between, because you've got to tap on one, rest, 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 so 3 in between. Some people call it 4 in between, but it's actually 3 in between, and then you go on to number 2, but I'm not going to do that here. So that's the rudiment. That's the actual exercise, which is the number 1. Okay. Number 2, this is called a 4-note Swiss triplet. A normal Swiss triplet is right, right, left, which is 3 notes. Well, a 4-note is a... Okay, so we're going to put that into the exercise, and it's going to sound like this. Let's do that again. Okay, so what you want to do is play all of your strokes nice and full, all right? Which is not what I did the first time I played that one. So number 2 is just the pattern with the rudiment inserted. Okay. Number 3 is the windmill. Okay. Okay. Some people play their windmills with more of an accent on one, and they immediately play the second stroke down. I like to play them with a little bit of presence to the second note, as opposed to. I like to hear this. Almost 2 accents, not quite though. All right. Number 4 is the inverted windmill. Okay, it's a paradiddle with a flam on the diddle. All right, so now we're on number 5. Number 5 is a little different, and you'll notice on the sheet that it's taking up the entire line. You can't play this one only right-handed. You have to. It repeats with the left hand because It just works out that way. So these are Swiss triplets on the right and Swiss triplets on the left. And then goes the left, and then the right. So it actually switches on the 2s and it switches midstream on the 4s, like so. Let me see if I can play that a little bit better. Yeah, that's it. So that's a good one to do because it's going to force you into playing your Swiss triplets on the left. A lot of people don't practice them on the left. Practice on the right, then they wonder why their left-handed Swiss triplets are weak. Well, that's why, because you're not practicing them. So, all right. So that takes us to, these are just called multiple threes. Some people call them French threes. I'm not really sure why, but back in my day, we called them just multiple threes. All right. The higher the better, because gravity will help you with this. So here's number 6. Yep, your fingers are going to come off the stick for these. They have to. Not out though. Fingers should come off down and not out. The next is called a Shirley Murphy, and we're going to play it like this. Okay, that's a fun rudiment. You can backstick that one and it looks harder than it is. Could actually backstick the flamadiddles too. You have to practice that one a while. Okay, next. Paradiddle diddles. Okay, put it in the formula. Nine is just something I do. I'm not really sure it's a rudiment. It's a right, and then a paradiddle. So, it's not really a rudiment. Could be though, but I don't think it is. It doesn't have a real name. So this is what 9 will sound like. And we're actually putting a slight accent on the first right. Okay, it's one of those tenuto markings, a slight emphasis, okay, not a real downstroke. Okay, now we're going to play number 10. We're still playing 6s, and it's just a roll, I mean just doubles. And then the last one I alluded to at the beginning of this video, it's just a right, left, left. Not really a rudiment. And you can play those starting on the left. You can also use paradiddles. You could play them using that sticking. Okay, the sky's the limit. This is just the first page. I mean, it could go on and on and on and on and on. But I like this pattern because it works your flam paradiddles. And as most of you know, when you isolate your hands and play flam paradiddles, your hands are playing this. a lot of notes for one hand to do 4 times in a row, and then you do it on the left. But you're doing this for the entire page, so that it works your chops. You'll have to relax to play these rudiments. If you're a real stiff type of player, this real rigid, you're not going to make it with this. You've got to totally relax your hands and play nice and smooth. All right, so hopefully this will reach some of you out there to help you with your everyday warming up. It's not really, I guess you could call it a warm-up. I mean, some people want to play 8s for 5 or 10 minutes, but you know, at my stage of life, I don't sit around going, I don't do that. I mean, I start with this. I've got a 12/8 version, and then there's 4 or 5 other things that I play, and anyway, I'll post a video, but this is called the Rebound Rudiment Warm-Up. Say that 3 times. Stay tuned, I've got some other things. I'm still videotaping the Devil Went Down to Georgia, the solo that I played with the Spirit of Atlanta 45 years ago, and I'm almost to the end of that, and I'll post some of those later on. So anyway, Rebound Rudiment Warm-Up. Work on it or not. Stay tuned.